I want to talk about Donald Trump and his attack lines that might actually work. It's a little unnerving when you see his approach. A matter of fact, Salon, there was a Salon article today basically begging the media to not allow Donald Trump's approach to work, or not to give voice to Donald Trump's approach, particularly the approach of him attacking Bill Clinton and his gallivanting, his sexual gallivanting. I'm trying to find my notes on that so I can give the author of the Salon article credit, Sean Illing. Sean Illing wrote an article over there on Salon basically saying, the title is, "It Must Stop Now. The media can't allow Trump to make this election about Bill Clinton." Well, here's the problem, Sean. Hillary Clinton has made a lot of this election about Bill Clinton. In fact, she said she's gonna put him in charge of the economy because he knows how to get it done. Bill Clinton is her number one surrogate in chief. So in all fairness, in all sincerity, I don't think that there's much that you can do to stop this from being about Bill Clinton, particularly because Bill Clinton is so vulnerable on so many issues. And I want to play a clip of how Donald Trump is going for blood from Bill Clinton. So on the radio show, I want you guys to just listen in. This is a video. What you're going to hear is a series of voice recordings of alleged victims of Bill Clinton. In the background, you see an anonymous picture of Bill Clinton smoking a cigar with the White House in the backdrop. And at the end, you're going to hear Hillary Clinton's laughter. It's something to see. Let's see if I can trigger this correctly. Here we go.
I was very nervous.
No woman should be subjected to it. It was an assault.
He starts to bite on my top lip, and I try to pull away from him.
It's so quick, you really can't get the effect of it. It's a Vine video. And they asked the question. Matter of fact, it's so quick. Let me play it again. It is actually rather effective, if you ask me. So listen closely.
I was very nervous.
No woman should be subjected to it. It was an assault.
He starts to bite on my top lip, and I try to pull away from him.
Here we go again. And then Trump, "Make America Great Again." All right. So the article says, let's not allow Trump to get away with this. Here's the problem. There's two problems with that request. And one, the request in general, right? In American politics, the only thing that's off limits are children. And you can see that that's not always observed with Malia and Sasha Obama. But the children are the primary things that are off the table in terms of criticism. The spouse is always on the table. Hell, you couldn't even, Michelle Obama couldn't even say that she was proud of America for the first time in her life, in her adult life, without everyone losing their minds. So good luck with the request. And then two, it's actually three things that is a problem. This type of request is censorship. This is fair game. These are actions that he took while allegedly took, and some, with Monica Lewinsky is confirmed that this took place while he was in elected office, and whether he was a governor of Arkansas or whether he was the president of the United States. These are things that are baggage for Bill Clinton and therefore baggage for Hillary Clinton. If Hillary Clinton was not using Bill Clinton and did not have him on display on a regular basis, then I can understand the argument that this is below the belt. But Bill Clinton is in play on a regular basis, and Donald Trump knows this, so Donald Trump is going for the jugular. Now, let me tell you something. I don't agree with much of anything, if anything, that Donald Trump actually says or stands for, because a lot of the things that he says that I think I might agree with, I can't believe him on it because he just blows with the wind. But Glenn Greenwald from The Intercept, he actually made a great post today on Twitter that's worth repeating. He said that because I bring criticism to Hillary Clinton does not mean I support Donald Trump. I do not support Donald Trump. However, this attack ad from Donald Trump is going to be very, very effective. And I think the Clintons and the Clinton team, the DNC, they're not prepared for that, nor are they prepared for this.
On foreign policy, Hillary is trigger happy. She is. She's trigger happy. She's got a bad temperament. You look what she did. Look at this. I just wrote this down. Iraq, Libya. She voted Iraq. Let's go into Iraq. I voted against it, except I was a civilian, so nobody cared. From the beginning, I said it's going to destabilize the Middle East, and Iran will take over Iraq. You know, for years they've been trying to get Iraq, and Iraq has been trying to get Iran. We decimated that country's military, and now the country's a mess. And what we did is we got ISIS. They got oil. Her decisions in Iraq, Syria, Egypt, Libya have cost trillions of dollars, thousands of lives, and have totally unleashed ISIS. Now
watch this. I have to jump in here. I want to jump in here and talk about this a little bit. I intentionally, and you know, it's bad on me. I intentionally ignored this clip for a couple of days. This is Donald Trump at a rally where he's hammering Hillary Clinton from the left. And he's actually saying things that regardless of if he flips on it, which he probably will be just as much of a war hawk as anyone who's elected. America is a war hawk nation. Let's just put that in the conversation. So, but regardless of what he flips on, if he gets elected, the fact of the matter is this is a critique of Hillary Clinton that is seldom even mentioned by Bernie Sanders. And this is a place where Donald Trump is going to move to the left of Hillary Clinton in a general election. And she is extremely weak in this area because of all of her baggage. Let's forget Bill Clinton at this point. Donald Trump is going after Bill, and he's going directly after Hillary Clinton, particularly on her trigger happy foreign policy. Now, I think this clip is maybe a week old, but like I said, I ignored it because it's Donald Trump. And you can't really take him for much of anything that he says. You can't really take him at his word. However, when you see the 1-2 punch of what he's going to do against Bill Clinton and you see what he's going to do against Hillary Clinton, we are in trouble. And and people are expecting us to just pound the war cry for Hillary Clinton. People are expecting us to just say, oh, well, let's just support Hillary Clinton no matter what. And it's not even about that. You have to realize that at some point your candidate is just weak and your candidate is vulnerable. And and when I say we, I mean people who are not Republican, right? I can't say liberals. I can't say progressives. I can't say Democrats, because there's just a lot of people who are not Republican who make up a broad spectrum of political ideologies and beliefs. But the consensus generally is we're not as crazy as Republicans. And sometimes that's used against us. But we have, at this point, they're asking people who are not Republicans to just pound the war drums for Hillary Clinton and beat back against Donald Trump. Here's the problem. What do you do to beat back against this narrative? How do you find an opposition position against Donald Trump on war when he is to the left of Hillary Clinton on war? The only thing that you can hope for is to say that he's lying and he's not going to live up to it. But in terms of the words that are coming out of his mouth, how do you find a position of opposition against Donald Trump? I am mighty afraid that a lot of people are going to start arguing from the right of Donald Trump on war. And another thing, I'm going to finish playing this clip if I can get it to start in the right place. Another thing is he has the audience's undivided attention. He has the complete control over his audience and over the Republican Party. They are listening to him, and he is able to take the Republican Party anywhere he wants to take them because he's in charge now. And what's going to end up happening is he's going to make the Republican Party, if this plays out the way it would normally would politically, he's going to make the Republican Party to the left of the Democrats on foreign policy. Now, what kind of crazy insanity world do we live in when we have a Democratic candidate who is the hawk and a Republican candidate who is a dove, ostensibly a dove if you take him at his word? Let me finish playing this clip. Here we go. Donald Trump and his policy positions on foreign policy.
Millions. You know, they bomb a city. I watch it. They bomb a city.
Hang on, I got to take it back because you missed something that was very important. Let's start here.
Millions. You know, they're ISIS. Now, thousands of lives, yes, for us, but probably millions of lives, in all fairness, folks, okay? Probably millions. You know, there is another side to this story. Millions of lives, millions. You know, they bomb a city. I watch it. They bomb a city, and you go and you see this city that's obliterated, right? Obliterated. We started this. Obama couldn't get us out properly, but we started this. Now it's a total mess. If nothing would have happened, we would have been far better off than we are now. We spent $4 trillion, but they bomb a city. I'm pretty good at this stuff, and I look, and there's practically nothing. These buildings, 4 or 5 story buildings, are just laying, and they'll say, nobody was killed. Nobody was killed. I'll bet you thousands and thousands of people were killed every time you see that television set.
That's insane. This is insane. Because when is the last time you heard a Democratic politician of any national stature actually, besides Bernie Sanders, actually discuss the other side of the equation, where we are mourning the loss of thousands of soldiers, and here Donald Trump is arguing from the left of Hillary Clinton, saying that we're forgetting about the millions of people in the Middle East that we're responsible for killing, or because of the destabilization that we brought to the region and the ensuing civil wars, we have an extension of responsibility in the millions of lives. He's actually getting the Republican Party to consider the ramifications of war, and we don't even have this happening on the left. And again, by the left, I'm broadly defining it as people who aren't Republican, all right? So that nobody gets that misconstrued. I'm not mixing up, last time I'm giving that disclaimer. But who do we have on the left besides Bernie Sanders on a national platform? I know there's some other local politicians and some congressmen, but on a national platform, who do we have that would acknowledge what Donald Trump just acknowledged, that there are millions of people on the other side of the equation that are getting killed? And what's refreshingly terrifying, right? It's refreshing and it's terrifying. It's refreshing that he's getting the attention of Republicans to consider Muslim lives, because overwhelmingly these are Muslim people he's referring to. That blows me away. That's refreshing. And it's also terrifying because they are going to take up the left position on war against Hillary Clinton. Why? Because they can. Why? Because Hillary Clinton is a war hawk. Her email transcripts show us that. Her votes show us that. Her communications from her supporters, not her supporters, but her staff members, saying everything about Hillary Clinton shows that she is more hawkish. And I am terrified of the notion that, and not terrified. No, I'm not. I think it's fascinating, to be quite honest with you. It is extremely fascinating to see that the Republican Party is poised to take up the left argument on foreign policy. That, my friends, that is an amazing notion. So these are two lines of attack that are coming from Donald Trump, and I absolutely do not think that the Democratic Party, particularly Hillary Clinton, is prepared to handle the onslaught that Donald Trump is going to bring against Bill Clinton, and the onslaught that Donald Trump is going to bring on her foreign policy. And wait till he starts talking about economic policy and actually appealing to those white working class voters who have been hurt by NAFTA, right, and who could be hurt by the TPP and hurt by all of the neoliberal economic policies that the Clinton administration claims actually helped the boom, right? Wait till he attacks that. Those same voters that the Democrats are trying to throw under the bus right now and say, we basically don't want you anymore, go the way of the dinosaurs, right? Donald Trump is about to come. He's about to argue from the left on everything. And you know what? Regardless of how he decides to administrate, if he wins, the reality of it is this is not a conversation that Hillary Clinton can win. She can't run further left than him. And you're going to see, mark my word, you're going to see people start making justifications and trying to rationalize also that they can find an opposition position to distinguish themselves from Donald Trump. They're not going to try to outrun to the left because with Hillary Clinton, they can't. This is a crazy time in which we live.